Moving on now, while the central intelligence agencies have alerted the Delhi police about a possible attack by the Lashkar-e-Toiba on our national capital, Times now has learned that the centre's terror monitoring system has completely collapsed. Documents exclusively accessed by your channel suggest contrary to what the centre claims. India is not quite prepared to deal with terror emanating from across the border.
He masterminded the deadliest attack on Indian soil, and now he continues to spew venom, undeterred and shielded from the other side of the border. But Hafiz Saeed's latest threat of a Red Fort-style attack in New Delhi has already sent security agencies in a tizzy, and the national capital has been put on a high alert. But how prepared are we? And just how effectively are we monitoring the situation?
If anyone says monitoring everything 100%, impossible. It is just the filter-based monitoring which is possible. It's not possible to monitor 100% things. If you are looking for a terrorist, you should be able to identify a terrorist among a lot of citizens. Your problem is this: how do you identify among these 100,000 people you are looking at on the street?
Documents show that the centre's ambitious centralized monitoring system that streamlined the interception of all mobile internet and voice data under one interface has been facing major issues, making the interception of any potential terror link impossible.
For any new technology which comes in place, let's say 3G or 4G, for whatever new communication method is used by people, it takes a certain amount of time before it can be monitored by any such agency. But then again, the privacy laws in India are very strong, and there is a lot of resistance from a lot of companies. There's a lot of resistance from the public. So a lot of factors actually are responsible for any such failure.
One of the hurdles for the centralized surveillance system is the lack of cooperation from telecom service providers, and logistical drawbacks further complicate matters, making the interception of video calls and roaming data difficult.
The strength of the encryption, the stronger the encryption, more difficult it would be. So the Skype has stronger encryption.
So at the moment it's difficult.
Yeah, at the moment it is difficult.
The draft originally predicted that at least a dozen states will be covered before 2014 comes to an end. But as things stand, it seems that that target will remain just a target, with technical problems and, of course, protests over so-called snooping and citing individual privacy.
These revelations raise the red flag at a time when India just cannot continue to be complacent about its aggressive neighbors.
While these documents of the Department of Telecommunications Security Wing suggest that there are several loopholes that needs to be plugged, the big question is how prepared is our security establishment to tackle the terror threat emanating from across the borders. With Jayanto Bhattacharya, this is Prema Sridevi in New Delhi for Times Now.
Let's go across to Prema Sridevi, our correspondent tracking this story. Now, Prema, do we know of any activity that the establishment would want to carry out post these reports now coming in? Because this is too alarming to be left.
Well, exactly. If you see the report, this is a report which has been signed on August 7th, and very clearly these reports of the Department of Telecommunications Security Wing suggest that the entire centralized monitoring system has collapsed, and it seems it's not working anymore because the telecom service providers in the first place, they are not cooperating with the government and they are not providing data, and their systems are still not upgraded. There are several flaws in this entire system. As you saw in that news report, it seems the 3G network accessibility, interceptability is very less, and the report goes on to say that even if a suspect is making a telephone call, our intelligence agencies, our law enforcement agencies cannot even get the time of the call and the duration of the call. Even this cannot be ascertained. In fact, what it goes on to say is that if a suspected, if a terrorist is making a telephone call, sometimes the system is so bad that this can be linked to an innocent person. So this is the amount of this is the way this entire centralized monitoring system is functioning, and following these reports from the Department of Telecommunications Security Wing, now there is, we have got to understand that the government has asked the telecom service providers to try and cooperate with the law enforcement agencies, upgrade their system, and try and ensure that they work hand in hand with the law enforcement agencies. Because
Okay.
you see, since yesterday we have been reporting about how the entire country, especially the national capital, is on a high alert following those reports from the
Exactly.
Intelligence Bureau, which was sent to the Delhi police. And the shocking fact is
Exactly.
that how prepared is the security establishment, and these reports just reveal that our security establishment
Right.
is not even prepared to intercept telephone conversations.
Okay. Okay, Prema Devi, our correspondent, getting us all the latest. Moving on now, just 5 days after they brutally butchered our men along the LOC, Pakistan once again has violated the entire ceasefire, opening fire on